Hello everyone, this is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel Tech Journey with Ankit. Today we do have day 4 of our LWC bootcamp. In today's session, we will be exploring the different operators that are available in the JavaScript. Here, we will be exploring the logical operators, conditional operators, arithmetic operators, and few advanced operators that comes up like a spread operator. We'll also be exploring the destructuring. Moreover, we will also try to understand what is the difference between the null and undefined, and also the difference between the equal to, double equal to, and the triple equal to operators. That is nothing but the comparison operator. So let's get started with the today's session. Before we get started, a quick intro about me. My name is Ankit Jain. I do have more than 10 years of experience in the Salesforce ecosystem. I work currently as an architect and also as a corporate trainer. I do have the experience in the different verticals of Salesforce, including the integration, LWC, Aura, as well as also have the experience on the different clouds like the CPQ, billing, financial cloud, as well as the sales and the service cloud as well. The reason I have initiated this bootcamp because I want to give back to the community and I want to help the freshers as well as the people who do have the passion to learn the Salesforce platform. And that is the reason I have started this bootcamp. Again, if you guys want to connect with me, these are the different channels we do have. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also connect with me on the LinkedIn as well as on the Telegram for the regular updates. So let's get started with the first topic for today. That is truthy and the falsy. What is truthy as well as the falsy in the JavaScript? Most of the times when we go and write down the if condition, in that if condition we put some condition, right? Like we write down the if and followed by that we go and put the conditions there. So whatever the conditions that we put inside the if block, that will be evaluated based on this truthy and the falsy operator. So in JavaScript, there are few values which will be considered as the falsy value. Except the values that you can see on the screen, all the values will be considered as a truthy value. For example, in the JavaScript, if you are putting the condition and that condition evaluates to null, then it will be considered as the falsy value. Similarly, if you go and put something as an undefined, it will be considered as a falsy value. Moreover, in case you are having any operator and that value of that operator is false, again it will be considered as a falsy value. If you do have a number which is again not a number, it will be considered as a falsy value. Okay. Similarly, in case you go for the 0, -0, everything will be considered as the falsy value. Right? So except the value that you can see on the screen, everything in the JavaScript will be considered as the falsy value and remaining everything will be considered as a truth value. Right? So let's go and understand the truthy and the falsy again with an example. So I will again take you back to the VS Code. We will quickly create one project folder that we have done multiple times in the previous session. So here I am creating a new video and naming that video as a truthy falsy. Okay, inside this I am creating two files again, like the index.html as well as the script.js. We will set the link in between the two files. Again, in the HTML file, to get the HTML template, I am putting the exclamatory symbols, and we'll get the basic template of HTML. I am putting a header. I am putting in the body the first tag as the h1 and naming it as truthy and falsy. Right, and also I am setting the link in between both the files, and for that I am using here the script operator, and with the script I am using the src here and putting the file name. Here my file name is script.js, so here I am putting the script.js like this. Right, let's go and open this script.js file, and here I am putting the console.log to evaluate whether the files are connected correctly or not. So here I go and put the truthy and falsy. Okay, so let's go and launch the local server on our machine. In the previous session, we have installed the local server on our machine. So I'm launching the same local server. To launch that local server, you have to do the right click on your folder and sorry, right click on your HTML file and take the first option, open with live server. So I'm opening the live server on my machine. It will launch a local server, and here you can see the page. Moreover, we can also see whatever we have put in the console.log. For that we have to go and navigate to the console section. So I'm splitting the screen in two so that we can see the code, whatever the changes that we are doing. So let's take the first example for the truthy and falsy here. So let's say I do have one variable. I have defined one variable here. Let's say my name, and I have not initialized the value of that variable. Right? In the previous session, we discussed that whenever we go and declare any variable in the JavaScript, but we don't populate any value into that variable, right? What will be the solution for that? I like if you answer this in the comment section or in the chat section, what will be the value of my name in case I am not initializing that value, right? So for example, I am putting that value here of my name, and here we can see the output. In case we are declaring one variable but we are not defining or populating any value into that variable, the value of that variable will be undefined. We have also discussed that the type of the variable, in case you are not populating any value, that will be again undefined. So here if I go and put the type of variable, that will be again undefined. We have already covered this in the previous session. Now let's say I have to go and put some condition based on this variable. So what I am doing here is, here I am putting the if block, and in the if block I am putting the my name, right? And in case the my name is satisfied, I want to print something or I want to perform some business operation. For that I am putting here the console.log, and here I am putting the print my name. Here I am putting the value as print my name, and here I am putting the my name. Whether this block will execute here, the answer is no. Why no? Because if you go and check this sheet again, the slide here, we have said that undefined is the falsy value. And as undefined is the falsy value, this basically condition, it will return the false. So this block will never execute. Right? So whenever you are evaluating any condition with the if, you have to always figure it out, this condition block, whether it will return you the value as true or false. In case it is returning you the value as false, then this block will never execute. Why false? Why from this section we are getting the value as false? Because the value of this variable is undefined, and undefined come under the falsy section. Here the list of values that you can see, all these are the falsy values. All these are the falsy values. So most of the people do have a confusion that in the if variable, whenever we have to check the condition, that condition needs to be the Boolean condition. That is true in other programming languages, but that is not true in the JavaScript programming language. In the JavaScript programming language, the condition will be false in case the condition block will giving you the value as 0, -0, null, or undefined, anything like that. Right? Then it will be considered as the falsy value. So in case it is false, we want it should go under the else condition. So I am putting the else condition here, and here I am putting the console.log, and I'm putting the statement here is name is not defined correctly. Here I am putting the condition as name is not defined correctly. So you can see here this block is not executing, although this block is executing and we are getting the result. Let's take one more example to clear our doubt. Now in the another example, what I am doing here is, let's say I am putting another variable, let's say my salary, and I am putting the value as 0 here. I am putting the value as 0. Now similarly, here if I go and print the my salary variable, we'll go and check the data type of that variable again. You can see here the value of that variable is 0 and the data type is number. Right? Here if I directly use the my salary, what output we will get? For example, here I am using here the my salary, and here I am putting the console.log, let's say print my salary, and I'm putting here the comma as 0. Is this block will execute? Again the answer is no, because 0 is again the falsy value. There is no need for you to go and check something like this. Again, in case you are doing it, that's well and good. Most of the people do put the condition something like that to check whether the my salary is greater than 0 or not, and then the block should execute. Definitely you can do it. But if you go and check few of the LWC examples, they are directly using something like this. They are not checking for the greater than symbol and the less than symbol. So you should not confuse whether this block will execute or not. Again, every time you have to go and refer this slide where you will get the answer whether the block is returning your truth value or the false value. Here, as 0 is the falsy value, you will not get this block executed, right? So again, I am printing the else block here. So let's say I am putting the console.log salary must be greater than 0. Salary must be greater than 0. Let's go and check whether this block is printing or not. You can see here this block is printing here. This else block is printing here. Right? I hope the truthify and the falsy value will make sense. Again, we do have the application of this truthy and falsy, not only in this example, but also in our mini projects as well. That is the reason I am specifically covering the truthy and the falsy example here. Right. I got few answers for my question whether when we are declaring the variable as my name, it is correct or not. So Jayesh and the Shrisha, they have given the correct answer that the value will be undefined and the type of will be undefined. Very good. I hope this concept is clear. Let me know in the chat box if this concept is clear and we can move forward. Now, let's go and talk about other operators available in the JavaScript. So we do have the few operators available in the JavaScript like the arithmetic operator. Whenever you have to perform any arithmetic operation like the addition, subtraction, multiplication and the division, then you should go and use the arithmetic operator. Another one is the assignment operator. Whenever you have to assign the value from one variable to another variable, then you should go for the assignment operator. Whenever you have to compare the values, right, then you should go for the comparison operator. So here we do have the different types of comparison operator. I will specifically covering the difference between the equal to, double equal to and the triple equal to in the upcoming slide. So don't bother. I will be putting a special scenarios when to go for the equal to, when to go for the double equal to and when you should go for the triple equal to. Right? Again, whatever the analogy that we do have for the double equal to and the triple equal to, similar analogy we do have the not equal to and the not double equal to. So we will be covering specifically. Another operator that we very frequently use and most of the times developers do get confused in the advanced JavaScript is the logical operator. So in the logical operator, we do have the three operators here. First one is the AND operator. AND operator, it will check whether the two operands are non-zero. Right? And in case you can say non-zero or you can say whether the two operands are falsify. Here we just see the falsy and the truthy. So what the logical operator will check? It will check whether the two operators, whether the two operands are falsy, and if yes, then only it will return the last operand. In case the two operands are falsy, then it will return the false value. In case they are non-falsy or in case they are truthy, then and then only it will return the last operand. Similarly, we do have the OR operator. It will check the two operands whether it is non-zero and it will return the first operand. So this is the key difference, folks. Here it is returning the last operand and here it is returning the first operand. Okay, AND operator, it will return the last operand and the OR operator, it will return the first operand. In the JavaScript certification exam, definitely there will be one of the question on the logical operator because there are different scenarios under the logical operator. Okay, now the next coming is the logical operator. Whenever you have to reverse the value, then you should go for the logical operator. Whenever you have to reverse the value, for example, you have to change the value from false to true or you have to change the value from true to false, then you should go for the logical operator. It is more like a toggle that we do have in the JavaScript. Whenever you have to toggle the value, make sure you are using the logical operator. And the last one is the ternary operator. Ternary operator is basically a short form for our if syntax, right? So here we go and put the condition in the ternary operator. In case the condition is satisfied, then the value 1 will be processed. Or in case the condition is not satisfied, then the value 2 will be processed. In case the condition is satisfied, then the value 1 will be processed. In case condition 2 is, in case the condition 1 is not satisfied, then the value 2 will be processed. Now let's go and check these arithmetic operators one by one now. So again, I'm using the same sheet for the logical operator. So let me clear this, and here I am putting the name as the logical operator, and here I am putting the console.log as logical operators. Okay, let me open the browser here. Okay, so first operator that we'll be discussing is the arithmetic operator. So for example, let's say I do have two variable. Let's say my number 1, I am putting the value here as 1. Okay, and another variable, let's say my number 2, and in this variable I am putting the value as, let me put the value as 10 in the first one, and here I am putting the value as 20. Right now, what if I have to perform the addition of these two numbers? So I will go and put the console.log. I will go and put here the my number 1 plus my number 2. What I am getting here is the addition of these two, that is 30. Why? Because here if I go and print the type of both the operators, the type of both the operators will be number. So for example, here if I go and log the data type of both the variable, type of number 1 comma type of number 2, you will see that as both the variables have the type as number, we are getting here the value as 30. Right now I'm twisting the scenario. Now I am making one of the number as the string. Now what output we will get here? Now here one will be the number and another will be the string. So in this scenario, the output changed to 1020. Why? Because if one of the string, JavaScript will take this plus as the concatenation operator. If one of these as a string, JavaScript will not take plus as the number operator, but JavaScript will take this as the concatenation operator. So in case you have to perform this concatenation, or in case you have to perform the addition, then what you have to do in this scenario, you have to go and convert this my number 2 into the number form. And for that we do have one function, that is the number function. In case you go and use this function, it will convert your value into the number. Initially my number 2, it is in the string form, but to convert that string into the number, I have used this number function. Right, and by using this number function, the string is converted into the number, and now we are getting the expected output here. Now we are getting the expected output here. Now most of the times, before we go and perform the conversion into the number, we go and validate whether the number is actually a number or not. Right, we have to go and validate whenever we are performing the conversion whether the number is the actual number or not. For example, let's say here in the my number 2, I do have a value as 28. Right, I do have a value as 28. So whenever I want to convert this into the number, the operation will fail because here it is a string. And what kind of error we will get in this scenario? That is NaN. That is NaN. NaN stands for not a number. So in this scenario, we are getting the error as NaN. So to avoid this kind of an error, before we perform the conversion, we use the function that is nan function. Again, there are multiple ways to do it, but as per my knowledge and the JavaScript do recommend that we should use the is nan function. Right? In case is nan function is returning true, then we should not perform the conversion. In case it is returning false, then we should go and perform the conversion. So what I will do here is I am putting here if isNaN is the function that I will be using to validate whether this variable is a number or not. So here I am putting the my number 2. Right? In case it is returning true, then I will say that my number 2 is not a number. So let's put a console.log here. Here I am putting that my number 2 is not a number, and thus conversion is not possible. And thus the conversion is not possible. In case it is not a number, then and then only we will go and perform the conversion. right? So whenever you go and convert the value from string to integer, right, make sure that you are using the number function, and before using the number function, it's always a good practice to validate whether the number is a number or not, and for that we should use this isNaN function. Now in this scenario, you can see that 20a is not a number, right? And that's why I'm performing this validation here. I'm checking that whether the number input number is a number or not. In case it is not, I'm not performing the operation. I'm letting the user know with the message or with the error handling. And in case it is, I'm performing the conversion. Now let's go and change this back to 20 again so that we can see that we are getting the converted value here as 30. Right, this is the kind of a scenario whenever we go and perform the operation with the my number one and the my number two, and the kind of operation that we are performing is the arithmetic operation, and that is the plus. Now the scenario is bit different for the subtraction, multiplication and the division. What, let me go and take another example now. Now here I am putting another two numbers, let's say my number 3, and I am putting the value in the my number 3 as 30. I am putting the data type of my number 3 as string, and here I am putting the my number 4, let's say value as 10. Okay, I have declared two variable. Again, one variable it is of type string, and another variable it is of type integer or number, right? In case I have to go and log both the data types of this variable, so let me go and do that, number 3 as well as the number 4. You can see that one is of type string and another one is of type number. You can see that one is of type string, another one is of type number. Now, what will happen if I go and perform the subtraction here, or the multiplication or the division? Let me go and do that, console.log. So let me go and put here my number 3 minus my number 4. Whether we'll get the error, or we will get the isNaN error, or we will get the final output as 20. Let me know in the chat box, or let me know in the comment section. Okay, so in the case of subtraction, now here one it is of type string, another one it is of type number, and here I am performing the subtraction. What will be the output? And trust me folks, this type of scenario only you will get in case you plan for the JavaScript Developer 1 certification. Right? So in this scenario, we will get the output as 20. Why? Because here the JavaScript internally performing the conversion, because JavaScript know that there is no way you can go and concatenate with the plus symbol. There are two possibilities with the JavaScript. It can either perform the concatenation or it can perform the addition. But in the case of subtraction, there is no other operator except the subtraction. And that is the reason internally JavaScript is converting this string into the integer or into the number and then performing the subtraction. Right? And that is the reason here we are getting the actual result. And this is true for the multiplication as well as the division as well. So here, in case I go and put the multiplication and the division, we do get the expected result. Right? But in case I go and perform the addition here, right? Let's also go and perform the addition just to clarify the doubts. What we are getting here is the 3010. Here it is not performing the addition, but it is concatenating this value. Here it is not performing the addition, but concatenating the values. To perform the addition, just now we discussed, what we have to do here is we have to convert manually into the number form, and then we have to perform the addition. In the case of other operators, you don't have to do it. Internally, JavaScript will take care of it. I hope the arithmetic operators will make sense to everyone now. Right? Let's move towards another operator, that is the assignment operator. Assignment operator is very simple. That is equal to operator. Right? Whenever you have to assign the value to the variable, we will go for the assignment operator. Like here, I have to initialize one value. For example, let's say let my number 5. And whenever I have to initialize the value, I will use this assignment operator and I can put any value here. Let's say I'm putting the value here as 50. Right? In case I have to go and change this value, let me put the my number as 5. In case I have to change this value, that also I can do by using the assignment operator. So whenever you have to assign a value to the variable, you will go for the assignment operator, right? In JavaScript, we do have the single equal to, we also have the double equal to, and we also have the triple equal to, right? This double equal to and the triple equal to, these are the comparison operator. However, the single equal to, it's an assignment operator. Both are the different types of operator. This is the assignment operator and this is the comparison operator, right? Similarly, we do have another comparison operator. So let me go and put here the comparison operator. I will come back to the difference in between these two in a while. Okay, we do have another comparison operator like greater than or greater than equal to. These are very straightforward, so I'll not be spending much time on it, right? These are very straightforward operators like the greater than equal to, less than equal to, right? Or the not equal to, right? Similarly, double equal to is also the comparison operator, triple equal to is also a comparison operator. So whenever you have to compare the two values, right? For example, let's say I have to I do have two variable, let my number 6 and I am putting that my number 6 as 10 and let my number 7 and let's say I am putting this my number 7 as 20. If I had to compare this both the variables, right, I can go for the comparison operator. So for example, here I am putting my number 6 is greater than my number 7. Let me go and put here the console.log. Comparison operator, it will return you the true or false. Okay, so here I am comparing the value between the my number 6 and the my number 7. As the condition is false, we are getting the output as false, right? Similarly, you can go and change this to greater than symbol as well, like this, and here, sorry, and here the value will be changed to true, right? Like this, you can go and perform the comparison operator or the operation on the comparison. Now, the another operator is the logical operator. Again, I'm repeating the definition of the logical operator. Logical operator will check in case both the conditions are true, then only it will return the value. I'm talking about the AND operator in the logical operator. Another operator is the OR operator. It will check if any of the value is true, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return you the false. Another logical operator that we do have is the not equal to operator. So let's go and take the example for this one by one. So for example, let's say here I am putting the console.log and here I am putting the true and false. Okay, here you can see both of them are not true. What output we are getting here is the false. In case both of them are true, for example, then what output we will get here as the true, right? Similarly, again, very frequently we go and use the logical operator in this type of a scenario. For example, let's say I have to check this my number value 6 value. For example, let's say I have to check that my number 6 is greater than 0 and my number 6 is greater than 5. What is the current value of my number 6 here is 10. Here I am checking for the two condition at a time. My number 6 is greater than 0 and my number 6 is greater than 5. It is true or false? It is true. So what output we will get here is true. Another scenario, right? This is again it is not only valid for the Boolean variables. It is also possible to check the AND operator with the other data types as well. For example, let's say I do have the two variables. Let me go and put here the console, or let me go and define the two variables here. Let's say my string. Another one is my string 2 is equal to Jan. Right? Now I can also use the this AND operator with these two. As these both are truthy values, what we will get here in this scenario, if I go and use the AND operator in between these strings, initially it was very much clear that whenever we are using with the Boolean value, we are directly getting the value as true in case the condition is satisfied. In case the condition is not satisfied, we are getting the value as false. Now in this scenario, I am using this AND operator on the string. Now what will be the output? Whenever you do have that kind of a scenario, you will always get in return the the last operand. What we will get here in return, the last operand. So for example, if I go and log this, here I am in the return, I am getting the value as jain. This scenario is a bit different with the OR operator. I will come back to the OR operator in a while, right? So whenever you are performing the AND logical operator on the string, it will return you the last operand. What it will return you? It will always return you the last operand. Now let's go and perform the operations with the help of OR operator. So I'm simply copying this scenario and I'm changing this with the OR operator. So what will happen in the case of OR operator? In case any of this condition is true, it will return you the true. It will return you false when both the values are false. So for example, here and here, I am changing this to false. In here, if you know, here we got the output as false by using the AND operator. But here, what output we will get here as the true. Why true? Because one of the value is true. That's why we are getting here as true. Similarly, here both the values are true. We are getting at true. It will return you false only when both of them are false. Then and then only it will return you the false. Now in the scenario of string now, in the scenario of string, initially we have used this AND operator and we got the my string too. Here I am changing this from AND operator to OR operator. Right? Again, both of them are truthify value. So what output we will get? We will get here the my string one. Here we got the output as jain, and here we are getting the output as Ankit. Why? Because here it will return the first operand. Here it will return you the last operand. Here it will return you the last operand. Let me check if we do have any questions in the chat box. Okay. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to convey. Kindly let me know in the chat box if it is clear to you. Moving towards the next part. So we understood this comparison operator. Now the last comparison operator is this not. For example, let's say I do have one variable, let's say is salary credited, and I'm initializing this value to false. I'm initializing this value to false. For example, here I go and log that value console.log, and you can see that the value for this variable is false here. Right? Now what if I want to toggle this value? One way is I can go and assign this value as true. Right? Again, I'm not saying this is not the correct way. This is also the one of the way. But in most of the documentation, what they do is rather than they go and perform the operation something like this, you can also toggle the value something like this by using the not operator. So here you are changing the value from false to true. Right? This is how we use the not operator. Not operator, whatever the value available into this variable, it will just return that value. Not operator is used with the Boolean data types. And here it will converting the value to true. Right? Most of the times on our LWC component, whenever you have to toggle the values, we go for this not operator. So make sure that you guys have the understanding about this not operator as well. Now, another operator that we discussed is the ternary operator. Now, what is ternary operator? Ternary operator is all about checking the condition and then giving the result. So for example, here I am checking the condition as if let's say I'm checking the condition here as is salary credited. Again, it's not like you have to only check the Boolean condition. You can check any condition here. For example, I can also go and check, let's say, let age is equal to 21. Okay. And here I am checking the condition. For example, age is greater than 18. In case this condition will evaluate to true, then I can go and put the value as too young. In case, sorry, age is less than 18, then I can put the value as too young. Otherwise, I can go and put the another value as old enough. NOUGH. So the way it will work is it will check the condition. If the condition is true, it will execute this block. If the condition is false, then it will go and execute this block. In this example, the age is 21, right? 21 is greater than 18. So the condition is false. So the output that we get here is the old enough. The output that we get here is the old enough. So for example, let me go and put the output as uh, let output is equal to. We can also go and log the output here. And here you can see we are getting the output as old enough. In case you are not using the ternary operator and you want to go with the if operator, then there will be too many lines of code. For example, here I have to go and check if age is greater than 18, right? That also I can do with the if else block, but again I have to go and declare another variable. Let's say let output outside. Okay, and here I am checking that output is equal to too young, and here I am putting the else output is equal to old enough, right? So this ternary operator, you can here you can see how many lines we required for this one. 5 lines. 1 2 3 4 5 6 lines, right? Here we have done the same thing in one single line by using this ternary operator. So we should go for this if block whenever we have too many lines of code in the condition. In case you do have single line of a code in the condition, then go for the ternary operator. Your code will look much neater and cleaner with this ternary operator, right? Again, logically both are same. This is just a practice that the developers will follow in the modern JavaScript. Right? So this is all about the operators. Let me quickly go back to the chat and check if we do have any questions. Yeah, I believe we are good. Let's go and move further. So I hope everyone is clear with the different types of operators that we use in the JavaScript. Now, coming towards the next one. What is the difference between the double equal to and the triple equal to? Equality operator, that is the double equal to. Initially we have understand a single operator, that is the assignment operator, which is nothing but the single equal to. But here we are checking for the difference between the double equal to and the triple equal to. Double equal to operator, it will check the values only. Double equal to operator, it will check the values only. However, the triple equal to operator, it will check the value as well as the type. In case both are same, then and then only it will return you the true, otherwise it will return you the false. Otherwise it will return you the true, otherwise it will return you the false. In case you are using the double equal to operator, then the JavaScript itself will perform the type conversion when comparing the value. Right? In case you are using this double equal to operator, then JavaScript itself will perform the type conversion when comparing the value. In case you are using the triple equal to operator, then you have to manually go and check the value and the type of the variable. Right? Let's go and try to evaluate this with proper example so that the understanding will be clear with the double equal to and the triple equal to operator. Okay. So here I am now. Let me go and declare two variables here, or we can do it directly in the console.log as well. Let's me console.log. Let's say I do have the two variable, for example, or let me do it with this. It will be much better. Let's say number 10 is equal to, I am putting the value as 3, and here I am putting the number 11 value as again 3. Okay, both the values are same. Now if I go and check the data type of both these variable, type of number 10, comma, type of number 11. If you go and check the data type of both the variable is the number 3. If I go and print the value of both this variable, value will be 3 3, right? Data type is number for both, value is number, value is same for both. Now here if I go and log down something like this, let's say number 10 double equal to number 11, what output we will get? Again I'm putting one more time, equal to operator only check for value, and the triple equal to operator check for value and type. So here it will only check for the value. As I use the double equal to operator, here it is only checking for the value. Is the value is same? Answer is yes, we are getting the value as true, right? What if I go and put the triple equal to operator? Here also the value is same and the data type is also same. Both are number. We will again get the output as true. Everything looks good as of now, right? Now I am making a tweak here. Let's say I am putting this as a string. Initially both were number. Now here the one is the number and another one is the string. So what output we will get now? Number 10 and number 11 values are same. Answer is yes. Values are same. Both are having the 3 value. So we'll get the output as true. Another scenario, data type is same. Answer is no. So in this one we will get the output as false. You can see here one is of type number, another one it is of type string. This is 3 and this is string. Value is same, we are getting the value as true. Data type is different, we are getting the value as false. So triple equal to, it will check for both value as well as the type. Double equal to, it will only check for the value. Double equal to, it will only check for the value. Another example. Let me go and put here console.log. Now here I am putting that Ankit is equal to Ankit. Let me know in the chat box whether it will return true or false. Let me know in the chat box whether it will return the true or false. I'm holding for a few seconds. What it will return here? It will return you the false. Why? Because JavaScript is the case sensitive language. In the JavaScript, even though cases are changed, it will be considered as the different value. So here the output that you will get is the false. Similarly, if you go and put here the triple equal to, then also you will get the false. Why? Because the values are different. Forget about the type here. Type is same, both are string, but here the values itself are different. So you have to make sure that the way it will evaluate is it will first compare the value, and if the value is good, then and then only it will compare the type. If the value is altogether different, then it will not compare the type. And that is the reason we are getting here the value as false. Always remember in the JavaScript, Ankit or this Ankit is different because both are having the different cases. This is in the lower case and this is in the mixed case. And that is the reason we are getting the value here as false. Another example, or let me go and move to the next slide now before I put the example. What is the difference between the null and the undefined? What is the difference between the null and undefined? Again, both are used to populate the blank value into the variable. Both are used to make the variable empty. Right? Both are doing the exact same thing. Then what is the difference in between the two? And whether we should go and use the null or undefined. Always remember folks, undefined will be the value whenever you are declaring the variable and not populating the value. JavaScript guidelines, it does not recommend that we should manually go and populate the undefined value into a variable. In case you have to make any variable empty, populate the null value in that variable, not the undefined value. Null is specifically designed so that you can make the variable empty. Right? Undefined will be the value whenever you are declaring the variable but not populating the value. Okay, although undefined do the same thing, but most of the times you will get kind of a logical errors in your code and your code will stop working. So it's a best practice whenever you have to make any variable empty, us populate the null value in that variable. Don't populate undefined in that variable. Undefined is the value that JavaScript will populate while declaring the variable in case the variables are not initialized. Another difference here is the data type of the null is an object. Another difference here is the data type of null here is object and the data type of undefined here is undefined. Data type of undefined here is undefined. That is the difference between the null as well as undefined. Let's go and try to understand this again on this VS Code. So here I am and we are evaluating the difference between the null versus undefined. For example, let's say I'm declaring one variable. Let's say my string 10 is equal to null. Okay, and here I am defining another string. Let's say my string 11 and I'm not populating any value. If I have to go and check the data type of both the variable, so let me go and put that console.log data, sorry, type of my string 10 and again the type of my string 11. Right? What will be the data type? Just now we discussed for the null, the data type will be the object. Sorry, let me go and put this. For the null, the data type will be an object. You can see here, and for the value that we are not defining, data type is undefined. Data type is undefined. Now, if I had to make the comparison in between the null and the undefined now. So for example, here if I go and put the console.log my string 10 is equal to my string 11. What value we will get? We will get whether we'll get the output as true or false. Again, let me know in the chat section what output we will get. Here, whenever we are putting here the my string 10 is equal to my string 11, you can see that we are getting the value here as true. We are getting the value here as true. Why true? Because both are doing the same thing of emptying the variable. And that is the reason we are getting here the value as true. Right? In case you go and check the data type of that variable now. For that, what we use the triple equal to operator whenever we have to go and check the data type as well as the value. So if I go and perform this operation, what output we are getting now is the false. Why? Because the data type of both these are different. Data type of both of them are different. Both are doing the same thing of emptying the variable, right? That's why here we are getting the true and here we are getting the value as false. That is the difference in between the null as well as undefined. We have seen this practically as well. We have seen this practically as well. Any questions? Let me know in the chat box or in the comment section. Right. Okay, folks, that's what I have planned for today. Tomorrow, what we will gonna explore is the spread operator in the JavaScript as well as the destructuring. If I go and start it today, it will extend some time. So let's keep it a fresh topic for tomorrow. And tomorrow we will see what is the spread operator, what is destructuring. So tomorrow we'll be discussing more about the modern JavaScript that Salesforce have introduced. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section whether you how you find the today's section, whether it is useful for you, if you got some learning into today's section or not. That's all from my side, folks. Thanks for joining today. Let's meet tomorrow and we'll explore the modern JavaScript. Okay, Raju Kumar asked the question. Can you explain one more time? Raju Kumar, can you put what you are exactly looking for? Okay, Raju Kumar is asking the difference between the null and the undefined. So null with again both null and the undefined, they are both used to emptying the variable. For example, let's say I have declared one variable here. Let's say my string, and I am putting the variable as 09, and here I have populated the value as, for example, let's say Ankit. Right? Now I have to go and empty this variable. I have two options to empty this variable. First one is, let me put here option 1. What I can do here is I can go and put my string 9 is equal to undefined. Another option is I can go and put here my option 2, and here I can go and put the value as null. Which is the recommended approach? This one. This one is the recommended approach to empty the variable. Okay, undefined is something that JavaScript is populating whenever we are declaring the variable, but we are not assigning any value. Right? Now, the next thing is, what is the difference now? The difference in between both of them is the data type. The data type for the null is object. The data type for the null is object. And the data type for the undefined is undefined only. So undefined is the value, as well as undefined is the object as well. Okay, that is the difference in between the both. We should always use the null whenever we have to empty the value of any variable. We should not go and use the undefined. I hope I make it clear, Raju. Uh, Another point from the Jayesh is, sir, I have defined let c is equal to null. Uh, Let me copy his example from the chat box and put it here. What he have done is he put let c is equal to null, let d, and he is checking for the type of c as well as d. So he is getting the output as in console. It is showing the type as object for c. It is correct. That's what I am telling Jayesh. For the null, the data type is always object. For the undefined, data type is always undefined. That's what we have also put it on the slide as well. For the null, the data type is always object. I hope it makes clear to you, Jayesh. Okay. Thank you, folks. That's all from my side for today. For further session, make sure you are subscribing to the channel and sharing your thoughts on the comment section, and spread the word so that others can also benefit from this. Thank you. Have a good time. Bye bye.